Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Morning.
Morning,
Bill.
Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
It's Saturday, May 20th, and we're going to talk about the news. But first of all, they weren't in my pocket. Suddenly, I realized I must have left them in my car. Frantically, I headed up for the parking lot. My husband has scolded me many times for leaving my keys in my car ignition. He's afraid the car will get stolen. As I looked around the parking lot, I realized I was right. The parking lot did not have my car in it. I immediately called the police, gave them my location, confessed that I had left my keys in the ignition, and that it had been stolen. Then I made the most difficult call of all to call my husband. I left my keys in the car, and it's been stolen.
He came and got it.
There was a moment of silence. I thought the call had been disconnected, but then I heard his voice. Are you kidding me? He barked, I dropped you off. Now it was my turn to be silent. Embarrassed, I said, well, come and get me. He retorted, I will, just as soon as I'm convinced the cop that the car I was driving wasn't taken. And I can remember where I dropped you off.
Sounds like all of us, Bill.
Let me sit here until I get that page,
sure.
okay?
Tip of the day. There's a feature on Safari. There's a feature on Safari that allows you to turn it into reader mode. If you haven't heard of this before, it's a pretty good little feature. It changes the website you're looking at to just be designed so it's easily read and you can scroll through it. So I'd like to demo that for you.
You did that once, but do it again.
I did it once here.
You got to show your screens, Bill.
I know.
Somebody did it. Somebody did it once.
I may have been doing it when I was talking about Safari.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if I share my screen.
You're okay, Lizzie.
And I mute everybody. There we go. And I reduce that. Can everybody see the my two devices?
Yes.
Yes.
Just a minute. I've got to check something here. I can't help with that. I can't help for Claire. Okay. I'll do it on my iPad because it's a little bigger and you can see what I'm doing. If I click right on the I click down here on Safari, and it happens to open up where I have my bookmarks, my favorites, and I go to a particular place. I'm just going to go to Google to start with. And then I'm going to type in maple tree. I want to get some articles on the maple tree. And I think I did this before with you as well. And then I'm going to go to a website. Let's go to the Wikipedia website. And you'll notice I have a bunch of text on here. Here's what I'm interested in. And then here's some more interesting information. But if I turn it into reader mode, it will change what's on the screen. If I tap the double A's, and it says show reader mode or show reader, and it changes it just to that center column of the actual data from the website. And you
No
can just
picture
scroll right up
again.
through it. Everybody have the idea of that one?
Bill, this is Patricia.
Yep.
I use that feature a lot, and it's very helpful if you have a subscription to like the New York Times or Washington Post, and you're trying to send someone an article. Usually they just get a link, and if they don't have a subscription, they can't read it. When you have this reader mode, there's a feature in there that says send as an email, and it sends the entire page. It's one of the
Okay.
few ways you could really use that.
So if I go back down here to double A and I tap it, I get these different items here where I can actually change some things. Like if I wanted to make the text larger to be able to read it, right? I could make it larger. I could change it to dark mode. I could even change the font.
What we're seeing doesn't look like anything changed when you're doing that, especially the font.
Oh, let me do it. I didn't change it to a weird font, so let me show reader mode. And then I'll get it into here. And then we'll go to the different fonts.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Where is the feature where you forward to another person?
I didn't see that. That's what I was looking
Bill,
for.
Bill, I use it on my iMac, so I haven't used it on the,
Okay.
so I assumed it was on both.
Okay. And then there are some settings for it, right? And one is use reader automatically. Not all sites have a reader mode. In other words, when you go to a particular site, and let me go to something different and see what happens. It's going to go to Better Homes and Gardens here. It has a reader mode. I was trying to pick one who did not. If I'm just on Google, which is where I am now, and I go to reader mode, it's grayed out, indicating that that site is not, you can't do a reader mode with it. I did notice an interesting word, translate to Korean. And it did. And so there is, if you have the translate app, it will translate it. Oh, now what do I do? Okay. Okay, everyone? So that's the tip for the day.
So Bill,
Go ahead, please.
once you finish with that site, does it automatically discontinue reader mode?
Let's do it here. I'm going to go down to Wikipedia again. If I can find it. Let's go to Britannica, see if they have one. There's the reader mode. And when I stop, you're saying if I exit and then come
Yes.
back to it?
Yes.
Yeah, it automatically discontinues it when you
Okay.
exit the site.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Now, what have I done? Oh, okay.
Bill, if you're in reader mode, it looks like you can highlight and then copy, paste to be able to send the article to somebody.
That's a good point. And so I've got a site here, right? And if I select some text, I can copy, translate, and I can share. And I could send that particular amount of the text as an email, an airdrop, a message. Okay, thank you, Bill. Changing gears into news. There are many different news applications out there. I have two there on my desktop. One is called News and one is called Wall Street Journal. Many of them you need a subscription to be able to use effectively. So if I go to News, well, I'm going to take you to News on my phone and show you what it's like if you just open it to start with. Oops. So I'm opening the News app and it comes up like this, right? As if you've never had it or never used it. And I'm going to tap Not Now, and up pops the news. And you'll notice there's a bunch of different sources for the news here. If I look at an article, it says the first one there, NBC News, Zelensky makes dramatic visit to Japan for G7. Right? Wall Street Journal. Spotlight. News Plus. News Plus is Apple's news offering. And you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, it says following News Plus, and that's Apple's subscription service, and today. If you tap on following, you'll see the various things you could be following. And here's a bunch of different things that I can follow. If I want to follow one of those news services, for example, if I tap the plus sign on CNN, I will get that. Now, to be politically neutral, I'll go plus sign on Fox News. And now I have Fox News and CNN in my channels.
What if your phone does not have anything beside the words such as channels and topics? It says weather, there's no mark beside it, no plus or anything.
Is there a arrow over here?
Only at the heading of it.
Suggested. Yeah, where it says suggested, if you tap on one of those and put a check mark instead of the plus sign, it will show up under channels and topics.
And Bill, I'm with you, except I don't see following.
At the top of the screen,
Right at the top of the screen. I have the news app up.
oh, hit the back arrow. So it says following at the bottom. If you go into some of these, that all disappears. See, mine disappeared.
No, I just can't get away from news May 20th top stories.
You might want to mute yourself. Oh, is that me?
Bill, can you send one of these articles to someone else who doesn't have an Apple product?
I do
Can
not
they
know.
read it?
So let me get through the basics here.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask Ann, did you get?
No, I did not get following. I got for you, I got scores. Follow
You sure
your
you have
teams.
My
That's the only
following
thing I
is at
got.
the top. You have to scroll up to the top.
Hold on.
At the top, it
Are you
just says
using an
news May
iPhone or
20.
an iPad? Who am I talking to? Ann?
Yeah, and I'm on an iPhone.
Okay. And what's it say on yours? What's
It
on
says-
your screen?
It says news May 20 top story. Zelensky makes dramatic visit to Japan. Which you had. But from
Which I
there
had.
on, it went into a bunch of different ESPN, good news,
So
news.
now now see where I am? See the arrow at the top of the screen, the back
Yes.
arrow?
Yes, but I don't have that.
Should.
Would you go to the top again where you started?
Hold on. There we go. Okay, be sure you're at the top. If it doesn't have it up there, you could be down here.
But that's only on an article. If you're looking at the choices, there's no arrow.
People have
If you
boxes
don't-
at the bottom that says today,
If-
news and following at the very bottom of the phone screen.
Yes, I see that.
Tap following. Thank you, Bill.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
When I go to the news, I get top hit Apple News. How do I get anywhere else?
Okay, hit following down at the bottom.
There's no, oh, I did search. I don't see following.
Down at the bottom of the screen, you don't see following.
No, I see a, what do I want to say? The thing with the numbers and letters.
Are you in the news app?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna, it says news shows more. That doesn't help. I go to search, I search,
No, we're not searching. We're not going to search.
okay, well, where do I get to the news then?
Oh, you don't have the news app on your device?
I may not.
Then you have to go to the App Store and get it.
Oh, okay, no wonder I can't find it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right.
Bill, I don't see over on the iPad that equivalent screen.
It's on the left. In other words, you could have it look like this, but then on your iPad, you have to tap the little icon in the upper left-hand corner to get the side panel. And the side panel has the same thing.
It doesn't have the
So-
word following though.
No, it does not have the word following. When you tap following on your device, you end up with the same thing that's in the side panel. So you'll see the two, this on my iPad and this on my iPhone are very similar in terms of categories, etc.
What does the word edit mean? In relationship, will it
I'm not-
allow something to stay
I'm
on?
not going there yet. I will get there.
Okay,
Right. So you'll notice there's plus signs down here on Siri suggestions or suggestions by Siri. Based on your use of your device, these are the kind of things it thinks you may want. And if you tap on any one of them, for example, popular science, I'm going to tap plus, it goes into the channels and topics that it's going to give me. So far, so good? What we're trying to do is determine what kind of news articles you're going to be getting, other than the ones that Apple wants to show you. Once you have selected a few of those, if you go to Today, which is at the top of the screen, I'm sorry. On your iPhone, it says Today at the bottom. On your iPad, it says Today at the top. And you scroll, whoops, the first set of items are the items Apple has chosen to show you as news. Get out here. You with me so far? You go back.
I have a question. Bill, it says today at the bottom of the screen. I see that. And next to it, it also says news. What does that mean?
Are you on your iPhone or iPad?
I'm only on the iPhone today.
iPhone.
Yes.
iPhone, did you say, or iPad?
Yes, iPhone. I'm on the iPhone down at the bottom where today is what you're on. Right next to it, at the very bottom, it says News Plus.
If you pay a subscription fee, you get a lot more choices of news that you can control.
Okay, thank
So
you.
if you tap on News Plus, it comes up and says, get started, unlock everything. And you'll see, and when I go through some of this, that I don't get to see some items. So if I go down here, right, way down. There's Fox News, there's CNN. These are the ones I've chosen, right? But if I go to, let's go to Wall Street Journal here. You can find one. Hmm. I go to USA Today. I add that to my list. And I look at some of the articles. Eventually, it's going to shut me down because I don't have a subscription.
I'm in the App Store and it says Apple News, and what do I do from there?
You download it.
I'm sorry.
You get, and then download.
Question, Bill?
Pardon me?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are there any apps that are free?
We're going to get to that.
Thank you.
I don't see the get.
Keyword.
Apple News, Apple magazines in one app. There's a cloud that downloads. There's a,
Hold on.
okay.
I'm going to go to news.
I'm in my apps.
That's where I am.
Okay,
And there's Apple News.
right?
What does yours say?
It says Apple News, news plus magazines in one app.
What's the icon? A little cloud?
Yes,
That's what you tap to download it.
okay.
I see.
Oh, while you're there, it says low data mode is on. I don't know what that
Okay.
is.
No, let me keep focused on news here.
Okay, so I put download, is that right?
Yep.
Okay,
I see. I only have the local news. Gotta change that.
All right. Okay, so we're looking at different articles. And the way in which you navigate this, let's assume you want the top stories from Apple. I tap it, I tap where it says Zelensky makes dramatic trip, and it comes up with the article, and I can read the article. If I want to go to the next article, I don't need to go back. I'll just sweep from right to left, and it gives me these affordable senior living housings may have you falling in love. That seems like a commercial, so we'll go to the next one. Right, it says Get News Plus. But here you go. Debt ceiling. Minnesota governor signs gun safety bill. Best treatments for excessive sleepiness. Right? Ginger returns the NBA. Get the idea, everybody? And you can read all of these. Now, if you want to go back to news, the general category, you scroll to the top and you tap the back arrow. And it takes you into other articles. Now, if you continue to scroll down, that's sports, reader favorites, USA Today. Okay, parenting. you'll notice it has a lot of different features or categories of things you can be looking at. Now, if you wanted just to look at your particular one, go back here to following and tap popular science. And it gives me popular science. It says, hey, you can get popular science, all the magazines, by signing up for News Plus. I think it's $10 a month. Now, you can get some of the articles temporarily. So if I wanted this one on what to expect from the US Air Force's 6th generation jet, and I can read that article. Now, it's not going to continue to give me all this for free. Just gives me 8 or 10 maybe of the articles, and then all of a sudden it says, not going to give you any more. Okay. Now, hopefully you've been playing with that as I go through and you can see what's happening. Do I have any questions on what I covered so far?
Where do you find what magazines are offered? Or what news sources are offered, whether it's worth the $9.99 a month?
You'd have to go to the News Plus and see, right? But before any of you do that, I want to show you about the other app. Okay. And it says get started for you. If you tap the News Plus there at the bottom, by the way, there's the different things you can get. Lots of different things.
Do they have international newspapers?
I don't know. I haven't gone that far. It's 300 magazines. I'm just tapping around here to see what I can find out, right?
When you're talking about something that normally requires a subscription, like the Wall Street Journal or the New Yorker, do they give you access to the issue or just to certain articles and you run out after a time?
I think they give you access to the paper. I'm not absolutely sure of that, but one of the nice things about Apple is you can sign up for a subscription and you try it for a month. And if you don't like it, what you do is you go to, and let's see, I'll do it on my iPad here. If you go to settings to control your subscriptions and you tap your name at the top, and it says subscriptions right there. See where it says subscriptions? If you tap that, it tells you what subscriptions you have. I had News Plus and I stopped it. Right? I have two. I have Apple TV Plus and Paramount Plus. I used to have Disney Plus and Apple Music. Right? And if I wanted to discontinue one, I could tap it
What?
and say cancel
What are
subscription.
we gonna have for lunch? I can't remember what's in the drawer. I'll do it later.
All right.
I can take it
Okay?
easy and fast.
Bill, on your iPad, if you clicked on News Plus and then all
Go ahead.
titles, you get pictures of what all of the magazines are.
Oh, good, thank you. If I go there and News Plus, and where's it say all titles, Bill? Ah,
I
Yeah, I found it. At the top of the screen.
Could you go back there again and,
I went to the news app,
okay,
tap News Plus, and it says for you, but all titles. Thanks, Bill. I'm glad you're there, Wayne. Here's everything they're offering.
do they get down to newspapers at some point after
I have
magazine?
no idea. Don't know.
I didn't even know some of these magazines existed.
Golfers Digest, looks like they're in alphabetical order.
Yeah. If you go over to your iPad, Bill, and
Okay.
do the same thing, there's one that's called News Beyond. If you take the news,
Okay, I'm there,
And
and
then-
I go to News Plus.
yeah, now go over two more.
Oh,
and you
there's
got
his newspapers, yes.
Oh,
Oh.
Hmm.
And you don't need to pick a particular source. You can say, I want a particular type of thing. Oh my goodness. It's almost worth it. Yeah, if you're going to be using your device to do all this, boy.
if you pick a particular magazine, do they send you news of the magazine, or do you have to go to the news source and then click on the magazine and then click on whatever is in there that you want to look at?
I'm assuming you'd have to click on the news source. They may have a one that mixes them all, but for example, in mine, where it says my iPad there, where it says popular science,
Mhm.
if I tap on CNN, it's only going to give me information from CNN. That happens to be one of the free ones. Okay.
But they don't send you information. You have to go into the particular magazine and look at it. It's not like if you subscribe to the Times, it sends you an email with the stories of the day or whatever you decide you want to hear.
Well, I think they do have a notification feature if you want that.
Okay. All right.
I get notified of stories that are even in things I don't subscribe to, but if I click on the story, I can't read it.
Is that
Oh,
right?
okay.
If I go to USA Today, here's all the stories from USA Today. And if I go, and I can read the story.
Hey, Bill,
Go ahead.
Joe McIntyre. I clicked on my name at the top there and then subscriptions. And what it says is you do not have any subscriptions.
So you don't have any.
That's what it says. But
Right.
every day I read the Wall Street Journal on my iPad.
That's
Yeah.
because you signed up to it in Wall Street Journal and said you wanted them. You didn't sign up with Apple to do it through the news app.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And the same thing for the Herald Tribune. I
Right.
can read that on my iPad, but I don't have a subscription to it according to this. But I
Right.
did subscribe to it, otherwise.
Correct.
Okay.
You signed through the app. Yes.
Was it better to sign through the app?
Say again.
Is it better to sign up through the app or to do it Jim's way?
It's either way. If I don't know how much the Wall Street Journal is.
Well, I can tell you the Wall Street Journal print edition is like about
Yeah, $50 a month.
more than that. It's about 800 a year, something like that.
Right.
I
That's
get
printed.
Yeah,
And
I
that
get the Wall
includes-
Street Journal. Yeah. I get the Wall Street Journal like Jim does. And I have the Wall Street Journal app that I can actually look at the Wall Street Journal articles in kind of a pseudo page format. But because I have a subscription to the Wall Street Journal, I put into the Apple News app, I clicked on an article and they wanted me to list my subscription. And if I put in my username and password for the Wall Street Journal, after that, if I find an article in the Wall Street Journal in the news app I want to look at as it came up there, I get those too.
Says Wall Street Journal has do they have a soft copy only?
They
And I-
they don't. It's the soft electronic copy comes with, you could, if you get the hard copy, you get a soft copy with it, and there's no
Right.
price savings. I do get the Boston Globe, and that one has a price differential. They have a soft copy without hard copy.
Right.
And I subscribe to just the soft copy, but then that allows me to read any of their articles.
Right.
So on the journal, if you actually get the paper itself, the online is free?
Yes,
Huh, that doesn't happen too often. All right, thank you. But 800 a year, right? Oh,
Is it that much?
It's
I
about,
thought it was like 60 a month.
that'd be 720. Well, it could be that, but it's expensive. It's $7 or $8.
It's up there. It's right up there, yeah.
Delivered by US mail or the independent carrier?
I have a carrier.
Independent carrier delivers it.
I have a carrier also.
All right. There is a app, and I really like the app. I've been playing with it recently. It's called Flipboard. I think it's a little easier to use than the news app from Apple. So what I'd like to do is demo that a little bit now. And if you don't have it, you can go on to the App Store, type in Flipboard and download that one.
like F is in Frank IT board?
FLIP.
Oh,
Like in
FL.
Flip.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to have a sip of my coffee if some of you want to download that.
There are a bunch of flipboards. There's flipboards news for you. The social
It's the one that
magazine.
looks, it's the red that looks like an upside down staircase. Look on your screen. It's this one on the iPhone or iPad, and it's this one on the iPhone.
The social magazine? What does that mean?
People use it to actually send articles back and forth to their friends, etc., and actually comment on them.
Here's what I found.
I'm not going to get into that particular feature of it.
When they say magazine, it's magazine articles or what kind of articles?
Let me get there.
Okay.
Bill, what interests you goes on and on.
I'm going to get there. So I tap Get Started. And there are all kinds of things in here. And what you do is you go through and start picking them. I'm interested in technology, Sarasota, news, science. Let me pick a couple others, computer, science, in alphabetical order. No, they're not even. Coffee, aging. And you don't need to pick them all now. You can just pick some, etc. And then tap continue.
And do the sites pick various whatever news articles from all over, or they have
Well,
various?
you'll see.
Okay,
Just
okay.
go with the
Okay.
flow here.
Sorry,
All right.
I keep getting ahead of you. Okay, well, let me shut up for a while.
Right here is the icon you look for to add additional stuff. Okay, so if you didn't get everything you wanted to start with, you can go there and add more or discontinue one. Right? Share your interests, and we're not going to do that right now. You can hit the plus sign on the screen. Say, hey, I found this great article on whatever subject, right? You could continue with email. I'm going to skip for now. And when updates about technology, yeah, you want to get those, right? So now I'm saying, hey, Flipboard, send me notifications about any of this stuff that happens. I don't like all the notifications, so I'm not going to allow that, but many of you like them, so you can get them. Hey, it's setting everything up now. And here you go. And the nice thing about this is the way it works. It's called Flipboard for a reason. If you put your finger here and flick up, it will take you to the next article. If you want to read one of these, you tap it. Let me go to one I might like. AI creates the perfect man and woman. Okay. If I tap that, I now get that article and I read it.
Yuck.
Not the perfect guy there, ladies.
No, no, no.
Okay. If I tap menu, takes me back. Well, no, I'm sorry. I can get just news. So if I just want news, now I just have news. I can tap on one of those. And if I want to go back, hit the back arrow at the top and I'm back to, oops. And I'm back to Flipboard. So if you've picked the subjects you like, you can get through them pretty nicely here.
Why would you get something in Western Oregon, or how does that happen?
It depends on the subjects you picked, right? When you pick Flipboard. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, there's Sarasota County. They do want you to register at some point. So I guess they're making me do that. They want me to give them a password too. Oh my.
Is that someplace in Sarasota County?
Pardon me?
The picture you have, is that part of Sarasota County?
Oh, I wish it were.
This is almost too much news.
You could say that.
What is the advantage of having the flipboard? How
Oh,
does,
I like the ease of use of it.
and how does it differ from, say, subscribing to individual places if you're interested in, I don't know, Apple and or technology or that sort of thing?
It's
Subscribing
all in
to.
one, it's all in one place.
Okay,
That's
all
the
right,
only advantage.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Okay. I want to open it for questions now. Those are the two news apps that I like. I do have other news services, a whole lot of them, if you look at them there. Like the ones you were talking about, right? I have like CNN News. I just go to CNN, gives me just news as provided by CNN.
Do all of these news sites come with ads in them as well?
Well, I imagine they do, of course.
Oh,
We're
of
not
course.
paying for them.
All right.
Okay. And I went online, I went to the App Store and I got the Sarasota News, Herald Tribune.
Are you paying for these?
They may have asked me to pay for it. Um, let's see what they do here. I haven't been on it for a while. Breaking news. I think they want, there it is, sign in. Already a subscriber.
Or restore purchase?
Okay. So I have a lot of different news sources. iPhone Lite, that's where I get a lot of my tips of the day. Right? And I am a subscriber to this one. See what that Herald Tribune gives me. It doesn't work. Oh, there it is. Aha. There's today's paper. But it wants me to log in. And I do have a Herald Tribune account, so I could log in there and get the Herald Tribune.
Well, you can get it without logging in, can't you?
I'm sorry.
You can read, if you are a subscriber to the paper, you can get in without signing up on the computer for it.
You have to have an account. Let me go find my, I don't know my password for it, so hold on.
Okay, if I want to read the Herald Tribune, I've got an app on the phone. I just click on that and it opens it up and lets me read it.
I have the app too, Bill. Did you have to sign in at some time in the past? And they just remembered it?
He's got to turn his volume on.
Ooh.
Are we doing more news for the next hour?
I'm going to skip off of news in just a minute.
Okay.
As soon as I
And-
get-
Did I miss in the beginning that you were going to be away?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Good.
So there's what the Herald Tribune looks like when it comes up. That's today's paper. Index on the side.
Oh,
There's the article. Switch back to the index. Where's my cartoons? But you get the idea? I want this article, tap it, and read it.
is this separate from your paid print subscription?
It's included with my print subscription.
Do they actually deliver a paper to your home? Or is it
Yes.
all online? They do, okay.
You can either get one, the other, or both, I believe, with the Herald Tribune.
Yes, that's correct.
Meaning there's a Herald and a Tribune, there are two papers?
No, it's one paper. It's the local paper here in Sarasota.
I get just the digital and it's $8.99 a month, which is a lot cheaper than the print.
Exactly.
I read it on my iPad every day.
There you go.
I pay almost $50 a month for the weekend New York Times, Saturday and Sunday, so
Yeah.
wow. And I love the Wall Street Journal, but it outside my financial capabilities. Wow, 800. Okay.
All right.
If you have the New York Times, you probably can. If you're getting the weekend edition, you may be able to get an electronic version of all week for no additional money.
Oh, yes, no, that is free. Some places like Bloomberg Business Week, they charge you both for the print magazine and for the electronic subscription. And the electronic subscription is something like $200. Like, whoa.
The nice thing about here is I don't have any recycled, and I can go back quite a ways in terms of news articles.
Bill, how about the advertising on the electronic page?
Well, let's go see if there is commercials. Yep.
There is an
So it's-
there is an additional advertising. No, it's just what's in the paper. The print.
It's a reproduction of what's in the paper. If I go to the business section and I start reading through here, all of a sudden I end up with, oh, there's my cartoons. I wonder if I tap on the commercial to bring up the app, it brings up the commercial page. Okay. And I'm just tapping in various places. It's a pretty good format.
Does it have a political bent, meaning that whether
Oh,
or
yeah.
not it's positive or negative about your governor?
Yeah, our paper is very politically inclined.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions about news? Any news source that any of you use that you like? Yes, no?
Bill, I have the Guardian app on my phone and it's where I go first thing in the morning. This is Joan.
This is England, and is it, again, is it a paid or not?
Guardian UK, it's an American version, I
Mhm.
guess. But it's an app that I don't pay for. They want you to upgrade and I have given them money, but because I read it also on my computer.
Oh,
They
okay.
always ask, but you don't have to.
And the Guardian is a wonderful source of what they feel in England, sort of interesting articles that they don't print here.
Well, there are some stories, but it has a little more international focus.
Ah, thank you.
I like that.
I'll add one more thing to read, and then 20 of my 24 hours I can spend reading.
There are some other news apps. I like NPR, CNN, and BBC,
Okay,
and I don't pay for any of those.
there's CNN. And here's the Guardian. And I'm not paying for any of these either, so.
Uh,
Yeah. Any other ones, guys? I think the moral of the story is if you like using your iPad, the phone's a little more difficult to use, but it's still there. If you like using your iPad and you can read easily on it, you can save a lot of money by not getting the print version of your favorite news source. Okay. Do I have any questions on any subject out there?
Bill, do you know how much it costs for the electronic version of the Wall Street Journal? Just the electronic, not print?
I do not. Well, let's find out.
Did they say $9.95 per week?
That was for the printed and
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I think, oh no.
Hmm.
$1 a week for a year.
Wait a minute.
Wall Street Journal, digital, $1 a week.
For 1 year, my gosh. I'm surprised,
$1 for 1 year.
I'm surprised they can do that. My word.
I wonder what they raise it to on the second year.
They show you that $9.75 a
Yeah,
week.
Where is
Oh,
that?
$10 a week would be
40 a month.
Ooh,
That's almost as much as the print, isn't it?
I think that when I looked at it before, the print and the digital were the same price. You didn't get a discount.
Okay.
each, right? So you paid separately for each?
I think you get
No.
both.
If
You get
if you
both.
get the print and the digital, the subscription price is the same, so you can get both when you pay for one.
Okay.
But it's the same price whether you get the print only, the digital only, or the two together.
I'm not a financial person, but discovered that everything starts with money. And if you want to know what goes on in the world, the places that talk about money are give you instant information or preview of what's going to happen. Not that you needed to know all of that, but
So Bill, does that say $1 a week per year?
For the first year, yeah, that's what
After
it
that-
says.
After that,
Oh,
what?
$1 a week for 1 year, so it's $52 a year.
Oh, $52. Okay, 52 a year. Okay, okay.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay.
this is every day, right? I mean, the daily issue.
Oh, yeah, you're getting everything. But that's for the first year.
Yes.
And then it's goes up to nearly 10, it'll be $10 by the time that year's up, probably. A week. Okay? Sharon, what did you say you use? Sharon still with us?
Yes, I use the digital version of the Herald Tribune. And
Okay,
that's the only thing I read, but I read it faithfully every day.
yep.
And there's so much crap out there today, I really don't need a lot of the news.
Does the newspaper still publish their circulation numbers?
Who? Herald Tribune?
Yes.
I don't know. I imagine they're going down gradually.
Be interesting to see the difference between the paper version and the digital version as far
Yeah.
as circulation goes.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell. How many of you out there have problems going to sleep? Fall asleep easier.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Fall asleep easier with this hidden feature in your iPhone and iPad. Did you know that your iPhone has a secret built-in sound machine hidden in settings that might let you go to bed and sleep easier, a bit earlier, and sleep a bit earlier than everyone else? So how does this thing work? It works on both. I'll do it on the iPhone here. The first thing I'm going to do is go to settings. And then I'm going to scroll down in the settings menu. And I'll go slowly here where it says accessibility. So I'm going to tap accessibility. Once in accessibility, accessibility is a great place for if you're having everything from tremors, for example. You can adjust how you touch your device. A bunch of features for vision or vision impaired, hearing devices. But where we're going to go is audio visual. If I can find it here. It's under hearing, audio visual. And it says background sounds. So you want to tap that. And where it says sound, you pick the sound you'd like to hear. You want to hear some rain, the ocean. What is dark sound? All right.
Doesn't sound
I'm
good.
gonna, pardon me, what's dark sound?
Doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound like it would help me go to sleep, but anyway. Okay, we picked dark sound.
Dark noise.
Yeah, if we want to preview, you tap edit and we'll tap, let's see what dark sound sounds like. Oh, not gonna let me do it. Do that again, rain. So I'm downloading the rain sound. And I'll download the dark sound too.
While you're doing that, once they're on your phone, you could put your phone on airplane mode at night and still access the noise.
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
That's dark sound. And that's
Why would-
rain.
Why would you put your phone on airplane mode at night?
I don't want it on while I'm sleeping.
We're not
There's a way
hearing
to-
anything.
You're not hearing the sound? Okay. If you tap, if you're in background sounds, like there's my phone there, and you turn on background sound, and then you tap, and you can change so you actually hear the sound. You can try that on yours. Don't have background sound turned on your device. And it'll start playing.
How does it turn on?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes, please, because I can't hear anything. It's raining.
You can play a sample there.
Yeah, don't turn the sound on yet. If you don't want it to play. So you pick the sound you want. And you can play around with that. If you go back now and turn on the sound, you'll hear the rain or whatever sound you picked. You can adjust the volume there. So it's louder or softer.
Bill, how did you get to sound, please?
Say again, Bearbo?
How did you get to sound? You said
I went to
hearing?
I went to
Yeah.
settings.
Yes,
Under hearing, it's audio visual.
I only have hearing aids.
Under hearing, you only have hearing aids.
Yes.
What's the age of your phone?
Oh, 14, it's a new one.
And it should be there. You went to settings, accessibility, right?
Yes,
And then you went down to hearing. And you only have one hearing, one
yeah,
item under hearing?
I just went back again and do I have to set up voice control?
No?
Oh. Play
Voice.
sound?
Okay. You went to audio visual. I'm not sure where you are. So.
Yeah, let me go back again. So, I lost it now. Accessibility, and then what is the next one? The hearing.
Right. And under hearing is audio visual.
Can't find that. I think she's doing hearing devices instead of the hearing group. Yeah, but I don't have hearing. I only have hearing devices.
You have one called general, a group called general.
General, voice over Zoom. No,
Does yours say accessibility like my phone does at the top?
I just went back to try once more.
No. What's it say at the top of your screen?
It says accessibility. No.
And does it say vision? For the first category?
Voice over Zoom.
Right. And then it goes down and says physical and motor.
No,
There are different blocks.
hearing device.
And you
Again,
scroll down.
Hearing devices.
It says hearing devices, sound recognition, RTT, and audio visual.
Oh yeah, I've audio visual. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Oh, sorry. So headphone accommodation, background sound.
You
Mono,
tap on background sound.
yes. Oh, now I
And
got it. Yeah.
turn
Rain,
that on.
have it on. Okay. Oh, that's, yeah. That's the rain. When it came on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And you want to use when media is playing. You want to make sure that's on.
Yes. Play sample.
They all sound pretty much alike.
Okay.
I say much alike with just a little bit of intensity that's different, but there's no variation in the sound. It's all the same sound.
My dark sound is different.
So
Dark noise sounds like static.
Yes.
So Bill, what does that mean when it says when media is playing? Does it say if you're listening to music or something?
I like the stream.
The stream is the only one that has any kind of variation to the sound
Yeah,
as it's playing.
You're right.
I have another suggestion for sounds. And that is an app called Insight Timer, where you can
Uh-huh.
set different lengths of time that you want to meditate, with or without bells, with or without.
Sure.
But then
Yeah,
they
I
also have
understand.
background music. And there are some very nice choices on that. And if you play it at night, say, it just keeps going after the time that you set finishes, unless you close it. So it will keep playing, and there's some very nice sounds on that
Okay.
app.
So Bill,
Yes.
how long does it last? Does it last all night? Does it go all night or?
Now, I need everybody to turn it off right now, once you picked your sound. All right. And now, when you turn it on and off, everybody have theirs turned off now?
Yes,
If you go to the control center, remember how we go to the control center? You pull down from the upper right-hand corner on most of our devices, and there's a little thing that looks like an ear. If you do not have the ear, if you have the ear, don't do anything. If you do not have the ear there, go back to settings. So go back to your home screen. Go to settings. Be sure you hit the back arrow enough times to get back to settings. Tap the control center. And go down and add hearing. I'm going to take it off mine. And you'll have one called hearing there. See it? Hit the plus sign to add hearing to your control center. Okay. Now, if we go to the control center now, go back to your home page. You're back to your home page. You'll have the ear there, and if you tap it, you'll come up and it says background sound. And you can tap the little icon to play background sound. So it's a toggle. You can adjust the volume of it.
How did you get what you've
you
got
can
on your
adjust it
screen?
while it's playing.
Say again, please, Ann.
I went to the home screen and what do I do from there?
You go to the control center. And that means putting your finger in the upper right-hand corner and pulling down.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm like, how do I do that?
Okay, I'm in the control center.
Say again, please.
I'm in the control center. Then what?
You should have a little icon, looks like an ear there. It should be the last one down here. It looks like this, Ann.
Yes, I've got that.
Pardon me?
Yes, thank you very much. I have that now.
Okay, you tap it and it says background sound is off. Unless yours is playing.
No,
And you
it's
can,
off.
and then you can tap the little ear and it'll start playing and you can adjust the volume.
So Bill, does it play until you turn it off again?
Looks like it does.
So how do you stop it?
Look, it's going to rain all night.
Hit the ear again, touch the ear again, and it'll stop.
That's correct.
But if you're,
Right.
that won't,
You can
can't do-
adjust the volume.
but there should be a way to turn it off after you get to sleep.
I understand.
It should turn off automatically in 30 minutes or hour or something or other.
I know. I have an app that'll do that, but I was just describing the one that comes from Apple.
Okay.
I have one that'll play music for a given amount of time and then shut off.
Does it help you get to sleep?
No.
I have a question, Bill.
Go ahead.
Is there a way to put a timer on the amount of time you have your ringtone off, shut off? I'm forever guilty of turning the ringtone off and forgetting to turn it back on. I'm told
is-
that Google has, Samsung has a feature like that.
Yeah.
Like his question.
Say again.
I said, I don't
There's a,
have a question because I have the same problem to remember.
okay. There's a feature on here, and I haven't played a lot with it, called Focus. So if you go to Settings and tap Focus. Now, instead of me, and Focus has a lot of features for turning things on and off. One of them is, and somebody mentioned they put their phone in Do Not Disturb. But that doesn't shut off some features. I'm sorry, they put their phone in airplane mode. That just shuts off the internet. It doesn't shut off other things you might have going on your device.
Oh, and it
There's a
doesn't
feature.
remind you when you need to turn it back on. That's,
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
What are we looking for on the settings?
Focus. Focus.
Got it.
And there's, it says, Do Not Disturb. And you tap it and you say, allow notifications. Notifications from selected people and apps will be allowed. All others will be silenced. So for example, I can allow certain people to get through my Do Not Disturb or certain applications. I choose not to do that. And if I scroll down there, it says from 10 p.m. to 8 p.m., I have Do Not Disturb turned on. And I tapped it and I said, okay, do that every day of the week. So my device will not make noises other than the alarm going off to wake me up. Okay. So that's one way of turning your phone on Do Not Disturb, or let's put it this way. Stopping your phone from making all kinds of interruptions for a given amount of time. Then they said, okay, if I'm driving, I won't let it bother me. So if your phone's hooked to your sound system on your device, sound system on your car, it won't allow certain things through. There's a sleep one. Okay. That you can set up. The same way. And then there's a personal one. And here's one where you might want to consider doing, right? You allow certain people to interrupt you, but you can say smart activation, right? And how does that work? I have never used it. Add a schedule. And so you could say time, location. So you say, don't bother me between 10, 12:30 and 2:30. You could say, don't bother me when I arrive at work or when I'm reading a book. And the one I think Peter was looking for, and I haven't seen it, and there must be one, don't bother me for the next half hour.
Correct.
Right? And I haven't seen it here. Right?
What happens when that half hour is over?
Well, there
If you
is no
haven't-
thing. No. I'm saying I haven't seen a way to do that. Other than going to do not disturb and saying, putting the time in there. If it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, turn it on at 2 o'clock and turn it off at 4 o'clock.
On the screen that I'm looking at on your iPad, it says set it. Excuse me, it said 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Does that mean that at 8 a.m., if it were a
You know what?
phone, it would be active to receive a call?
That's correct.
Can you do that on a phone?
Yeah. In fact, there's my phone. And that's what mine's set to do. Okay.
Bill, as far as that silent button, could you ask Siri to remind you in 1 hour to turn off the red button? I think you could do that with the reminder.
I'm thinking, since I've said do not disturb, would it do it?
Well, no, I was talking about Jim. Was it Jim that asked the question about forgetting
know.
the red button is on?
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Say you're going to
Forgetting-
church and you put it on, then you could ask Siri to remind you at 1 o'clock to turn it back off if you hadn't already done it.
do not disturb, you mean?
No, the red silent button, the so-called church button, isn't that what
Okay, thank
the
you.
earlier question was about?
I don't
That's
know.
the
Would it
answer.
do that? Go ahead, it's Peter.
I think that's the answer. Ask Siri to remind you at whatever time. I don't know if Siri has the ability to turn your do not disturb back on.
No, I
No,
don't
it
think she does, but she could remind you to do something.
Right. That's good.
Do not disturb for 10 minutes.
Do not disturb is off. Let me know if you want to turn it on.
Turn do not, whoops, let me try. Turn do not disturb on for 10 minutes.
Okay, do not disturb is now on.
But how long are you on for? Turn off do not disturb.
Okay, I turn do not disturb off.
Turn on do not disturb for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes.
Okay, I turn do not disturb on.
Set a reminder for 2 minutes from now.
What do you want to be reminded about?
Turn off do not disturb.
Okay, I added it.
So we're going to find out if reminders gives you a sound when do not disturb is turned on.
I think that's the answer.
Peter, if neither of those works, you can play around with those couple of things and you should be able to get something.
Thank you.
All right.
Bill, there used to be a way of when you were at a, instead of hitting the mute button, if you put on do not disturb while you were at a church or something, you had an option to say until I leave this location.
I got you. I remember that somewhere too. Turn on do not disturb until I leave this location.
Do not disturb is already turned on.
Yeah, we could play with that one too. That's one that's interesting, to say the least. We're gonna have to study that more. All right. Any other questions? No, yes.
Bill, I have a question. Is there a possibility to check for viruses on the phone? Because I have some weird information which I get that, for example, they will take away all my photos because I have not sufficient memory, but I have a lot of memory which is still open. So I think there might be a virus. Is there a way to find out?
Okay. Is it saying you run out of space on your device or in the iCloud?
In the iCloud.
So no, that's actually a true message you're getting. If you go to settings on your device, I'll go to it on my iPad.
Yeah, it's on my phone, this one.
Okay, we'll do it on the phone. If you go to settings on your phone and you tap your name at the top.
Yes.
And then you tap where it says iCloud.
Yes. It says 200 gigabytes and it still says it runs out. So I have a lot of.
Wait. What's it say for iCloud Plus there?
Oh, let me go back again. iCloud Plus. 39.9 gigabytes of 200 gigabyte used.
Okay, so it's not your iCloud.
No.
So now hit the back arrow a couple times to take you back to settings.
Yes.
And then scroll down to where it says general.
Yes.
and iPhone storage.
iPhone storage.
And what's it say there?
36.3 gigabytes of 128 gigabytes used.
Okay, you should not be getting any message that says your device is full.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting all the time.
Is it an email?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it an email or message, or is it a notification? What is it?
I think it's an email.
Delete it. It's scam.
Okay.
I have not heard of anybody ending up with a virus on their phone or their iPad. Has anybody out there heard of anything? Okay.
So I can just delete it if it turns up again.
That's correct.
I've gotten some of those same kind of messages and I just delete them.
Okay,
Bill, I
very
got an
good.
answer for you.
Yes,
Which on what question?
The do not disturb by location.
Yep.
Take your phone,
Go ahead. Got my phone. I lost you, Bill.
all right, pull down to get your control panel.
Okay, got it.
Long press on the do not disturb, on the focus, I mean.
On do not disturb or focus.
Well, you got the do not disturb on, so you won't have the focus.
Okay, I did that.
Now touch the three dots in the right.
On do not disturb.
Yes,
Ah. Hey, Peter, do not disturb for 1 hour.
it
Until
also
this
has
eve-
do not disturb until I leave this location.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
like
great,
it.
I do
That's a
too.
good one.
I'm
Yes.
pressing on the focus button and long press and nothing happens.
Long press on the focus. Why do I-
On what he just showed us, it says do not disturb until I leave this location home. What does that exactly mean? Does that mean that when you get home, it will tell you to turn on your phone, or it'll turn on the phone? Or was it tell you to turn it on?
Bill is home.
I'm home. And so that's why it says home, and until I leave home is what they're talking about. So if you're at church, would turn it on until you leave that location. It would say whatever, wherever you are. So with Peter, you're not getting do not disturb or focus.
I press on focus.
You're here on your
And I-
phone. Is that correct? And you press firmly on that icon where my arrow is. And you should get this show up.
Okay, the website I'm looking at says if it doesn't work, go to settings, privacy, location services, and turn it on.
Wait a minute.
Settings. Privacy.
Privacy
Okay, let's go there. Privacy and security.
and location services need to be on.
Okay, it is. Okay.
And
Okay,
Peter, if that doesn't work, restart your device.
yeah, I'm right where you are now.
Okay,
With my phone. And what do I press?
you press this icon, whatever yours says. What does yours say? Mine says do not disturb. Let me turn
Mine
off.
says
do not-
focus.
Yeah, let me get that where yours is. What's yours say, Peter?
Well, it says it says settings up in the left-hand corner. In the middle, it says focus. And then there's a plus sign. And then there's three, four captions. One's do not disturb, one's sleep, one's personal, one's work.
Okay, then press the three dots to the right of the top there. Do not disturb.
I don't get any three dots.
I know, just press it.
It's a plus arrow. I got a plus arrow comes up. What do you want to focus on? Oh. Bill, I don't get the three dots.
What's the age of your phone?
It's a iPad 13. That's maybe
iPad,
7 months old.
iPad.
Oh, iPad.
No, try your iPhone.
That's what I was doing is the iPhone.
Okay, what's the age of your iPhone? Or what version?
It's a Apple 13.
Really? And do you have an icon on? Are you in the control center? In other words, you have something that looks like my phone on your screen.
No.
Okay, the way you get that is you're on your home screen, which is where I am now.
And scroll down. Okay, I'm there now.
No, don't scroll anywhere.
Okay.
Put your finger in the upper right-hand corner and pull down from the top.
I'm there.
And you
Now
have an
hit that
icon.
focus button.
Yep, press and hold that. And it doesn't come up?
I got it. I was pressing the focus button on the general settings.
I got you. Okay,
Thank you.
we got it.
Ask you some more about what we're looking at, and the very screen that you have on your phone is what I have on mine. And it says do not disturb, but it doesn't say on.
Mine is on.
Okay, then how do you get it on?
Well, when I turn it off.
Mine's off, but what I'm concerned about and want to ask about is the 4 questions they ask for 1 hour. Do not disturb until this evening. Do not disturb until I leave this location home, which says to me is that my phone is not going to ring while I'm at home, but when I leave home, it will ring.
Wait. That's correct.
What if I wanted it the other way around?
Well, you have to be at that place.
Oh,
When you would do this at church, it would says, do not disturb until I leave, and then may have an address there or something instead of home.
thank you. Which means right now, it won't ring as long as I'm home.
Correct.
It also says it will not ring until the end of this event from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Right.
stud class.
Right. All right.
But yet I don't have my phone turned off. Doesn't matter whether the phone is turned off or on.
No.
With all those
doesn't
things.
matter.
Bill, did Siri come back and answer you?
No, nothing happened. I got to play with that for a while, figure out what's going on there.
I think what I'm just gonna have to do is put a note on my door when I walk in and says, turn on your phone.
I have a question on Dropbox. My pastor sends me Bible studies on the Dropbox, and it says my Dropbox is full, but I don't have anything. I mean, I didn't, and they said I have to pay for it. He doesn't know what to do about getting any more to me.
I have to switch screens here. Stop share. We're talking about Dropbox. I've got to bring up Dropbox. Here's my Dropbox. I hope. Yeah. And I have somebody on the left-hand side of my screen. You'll see it says Stug here. That takes me to the Stug account that's not on my machine. So it doesn't affect my Dropbox size. If you click on my, and I assume you're talking about your computer?
My phone.
Yes?
Phone.
Hello?
My phone. Not my
It's on your,
computer. It's on my phone.
and what's it telling you? I don't have Dropbox on my phone, so I'm not sure.
It says it's full, and I have never, I have to pay, and I don't really, he's sending this to me.
He's sending it to you, or he sends, go look at it.
He sends it to me.
He sends you
Sermon.
an email or no, I'm not sure what he sends you.
It's an email.
You're talk closer to your computer.
It's an email.
Yeah, and it has a link in it.
It says that it's, yes, and then I
You
download it.
click it. So it's his Dropbox it's about full, not yours.
Right. But he doesn't know what he can do about it. I don't know. Is there a way to?
Well, he has to go purchase an upgrade. See where it says
Oh.
upgrade?
So he has to get an upgrade.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Or he has to delete some other stuff.
Right.
Right.
It shouldn't affect mine that I should have to buy it.
No. No.
Okay. Well, thank you.
According to the doctor, an old physician, Dr. Gordon Geezer, became very bored after his retirement and decided to open up a new medical clinic. He put a sign outside that says, Dr. Geezer's Clinic. Get your treatment for $500. If I don't cure you, I'll give you $1,000 back. So Dr. Young who was positive that this old geezer didn't know beans about medicine, thought that this would be great opportunity for him to get $1,000. So he went to Dr. Geezer's clinic. Dr. Young said, "Dr. Geezer, I lost all my taste in my mouth. Can you please help me?" Dr. Geezer says, "Nurse, please bring me the medicine in box 22 and put 3 drops on Dr. Young's mouth." Dr. Young says, "Oh, this is gasoline. Congratulations, you got your taste back. That'll be $500. Dr. Young gets annoyed, goes back after a couple of days, figuring to recover his money. He says, "I've lost my memory. I can't remember anything. Nurse, please bring me the medicine in box 22 and put 3 drops on the patient's mouth." "Oh, no, you don't. That's gasoline." Dr. Geezer, "Congratulations, you got your memory back. That will be $500. Dr. Young, having lost $1,000, leaves angrily and comes back several days later. Dr. Young says, my eyesight has become weak. I can hardly see anything." Dr. Geezer, "Well, I don't have any medicine for that. So here's $1,000 back," giving him a $10 bill. Dr. Young, "But this is $10. Doctor, congratulations, you got your vision back. That'll be $500. Moral of the story. Ready? Moral of the story, just because you're young doesn't mean you can outsmart the old geezer. Come on, Leah, you can be smart. All right, everybody. Next week, I think next week is reminders. Am I right? Am I right? Let me check.
Have the word book under us, Doug.
Oh, it's books and music. Thank you. It's books and music. All right. And Anne, want to turn off your speaker and tell us about what's coming up in the month of June?
A lot of stuff's coming up. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about our June get together.
Our June get together, which is going to be in Turtle Rock at the Turtle Rock Center, you know, where we met before. Turtle Rock is where Jim Cerny lives. And we're going to be there from, I think it's 12 to 2 for anybody that would like to come. And I think we haven't decided on the price yet. I've seen something as low as $5 for members and $6 for a guest. You can bring a guest, and we are limited to a certain number of people, but we don't think we're going to get, excuse me, anywhere near that limitation. So bring your guests. Should not be.
We'd like you to cause us to be over full. That's what we'd like.
That would be wonderful. But please do come. It should be a lot of fun. It's a get together. It's one of the 4 meetings where we get together during the year in person. And if you haven't been to one of those this year, it's time. We need to get out. And it's a lot of fun. And there'll be games, and there'll be food, and there'll be entertainment from Bill.
And I'm sure Bill Kelleher is going to come down from the north.
And Bill will come down from the north. You just never know what might happen.
What day is it? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think if it was June the 28th, was it? I'd have to go back into my messages.
It's the last week or it's the last week in June.
Yeah, and I believe that's June the 20.
June 29th is the last Thursday.
Week. And I think it is the either the 28th or 29th. We'll have to let you know, and we will.
Yeah, we'll let you know, but try to hold those dates open, everyone. Okay. And we will see you next week.
Next week.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
please play around a little bit with
Books and music. Or
please
sleep.
play around with the news app, either Flipboard or news, just to get used to it. Just play around and see what you can do with it. Okay?
Okay,
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bill.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bill.
Have a good week, everyone.
See you next week. Thanks,
Do
Bill.
the same.
Yep.
Yeah.